Tomorrow is the day. The highly anticipated and hotly debated revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong appears to have arrived. Markets are holding their breath, investors are on edge, and newsrooms around the world are gearing up to track every development as it unfolds. From Baghdad to Hanoi to global currency markets, all eyes are locked on what happens next. Tonight, as markets prepare to close and analysts recalibrate their models, the possibility of revaluation is electrifying. The dinar, a currency that has been at the center of speculation for years, particularly among retail investors, is now firmly in the headlines. That anticipation extends to the Vietnamese Dong, another currency that has long been watched by observers hoping for dramatic adjustment. The official word from government sources is still tightly held, but whispers and hints have surfaced, enough to bring the story to the breaking news stage. The tone here must be urgent, unflinching, professional. Confirmed is a powerful word, and it is being used more than ever. This script assumes such confirmation has arrived, or is imminent, and treats the news as both credible and immediate. At the same time, it remains grounded in the understanding that currency revaluations are complex, involve multiple layers of government and central bank coordination, and can change. Viewers watching this report should feel the gravity, the tension, and the high stakes. It begins with the dinar. Sources indicate that, as of late today, Iraqi officials have finalized the revaluation plan. That announcement is said to be under embargo until tomorrow morning, when the Central Bank of Iraq will issue an official statement confirming the new exchange rate against the US dollar. Industry insiders, who have been tracking confidential briefings, say that the dinar's value is being adjusted upward significantly. That movement could have sweeping implications for regional trade, for Gulf-based banking operations, and for millions of dinar-holding savers in Iraq and around the globe. As you listen, imagine Iraqi families checking their balances, hopeful that their nest eggs may be worth more. Picture forex traders in London and Dubai recalibrating pricing models. Envision remittance corridors buzzing with activity. The possibility of even a modest revaluation is compelling. A dramatic one would be revolutionary. Simultaneously, the dong is in play. Vietnamese officials are reportedly coordinating with international partners to announce a similar move tomorrow. The Vietnamese government, aware of global economic sensitivities and committed to transparency, will share its strategy alongside the Iraqi announcement. The coordinated timing of both announcements suggests a rare convergence in emerging market currency policy. Confirmation that both currencies will appreciate, or at least shift basis, would shake markets and spark global headlines. Capital flows will react instantly. Forward markets, retail speculators, sovereign wealth funds, currency funds, and central banks are all poised to respond. In the next 24 hours, we expect surges in trading volume in regional exchange houses. Banks may announce new buy-sell spreads. Forex trading platforms will flash updates. Brokers may raise margin requirements. Headlines will flash. Dinar leaps, dong rallies. Emerging market shock. The political dimension cannot be overstated. In Iraq, the revaluation marks a bold fiscal decision. The government has often cited stabilization of the dinar as a key goal, locking in exchange rates, curbing inflation, and bolstering public confidence. An upward adjustment could help cushion import costs and enhance the dinar's credibility. In Vietnam, the rationale centers on gradually steering away from dollar dependency, encouraging trade competitiveness, and reflecting underlying economic strength. Currency revaluation is never merely about numbers. It's about psychology, too. Confidence matters. Investors, citizens, businesses, they all interpret such moves as signals. If tomorrow's announcements are properly managed, they could catalyze domestic investment, foreign direct investment, and remittance stability. If mismanaged or incomplete, they could trigger volatility, capital flight, or speculative bubbles. Our role now is to document every beat, monitor official statements, track market reactions, interview analysts, hear from currency dealers, talk to remittance services, speak to economists. This report will be updated constantly as confirmation and reaction unfold. Here is what we already know, or strongly believe. In Baghdad, Insiders report that a formal cabinet decision was signed late today. That decision outlines a revaluation of the dinar by a significant percentage. Details are sealed until the central bank's scheduled news release tomorrow morning. Observers in regional capitals believe the move is real and imminent. In Hanoi, parallel channels suggest the Bank of Vietnam has been coordinating with trade and finance ministries to support a measured upward adjustment of the dong, with public messaging queued up for tomorrow afternoon local time. Timing matters. Early in the day tomorrow, we expect a formal announcement from Iraq. That statement will address the new rate structure, the transition arrangements, and expectations for monetary stability. Markets may open with a surge in demand for dinar. Then, hours later, or perhaps even simultaneously, Vietnam will confirm its own adjustment. That second announcement may be framed as part of a broader monetary strategy, connecting the move to long-term economic goals rather than a sudden shock. Global reaction will be intense. The US dollar could lose ground briefly against both currencies. Regional currencies and cross-currency pairs will reprice. Remittance volumes may spike. News wires will light up with analysis, speculation, and breakdown of implications. Economists will comment on inflation risks, trade balance effects, and debt servicing recalibrations. For viewers watching now, or first thing tomorrow morning, this is the breaking story. Confirmed currency revaluation is not an everyday event. Rarely do two emerging market currencies step forward in tandem. This convergence adds urgency. It demands careful coverage. It deserves respect for the complexity and the potential impact. Of course, any forecast comes with caveats. Currency policy is never final until the ink is dry. Unforeseen delays happen. Negotiations can stall. Political turbulence can derail even well-prepared plans. Yet for now, the weight of evidence leans toward confirmation. Insider sources, official embargoed briefings, pre-release announcements all point to revaluation. Until that central bank press release arrives, however, markets remain on edge. Early tomorrow, we'll watch the live statement, parsing language about official rate levels, transitional mechanisms, and support facilities. Watch for mention of IMF or World Bank coordination, mention of foreign reserves, indications of public messaging strategy. That language will matter. Officials will aim to manage expectations, stave off panic, and support orderly trading. In parallel, watch for practical implementation. Will banks display new rates by mid-morning? Will retail exchange counters adjust pricing? Will remittance firms revise send-receive spreads? Will local governments urge calm and reassure citizens? All those signals will matter. In closing, this moment demands your full attention. The contract rate shifts on three afflicted but potentially resurgent currencies are stirring. They may be early whispers of a global reset that recalibrates exchange frameworks, corrects undervaluations, and reintroduces trust. Or they may simply be surging speculation that fizzles without consequence. So wherever you are, pay attention. Monitor contract rate boards. Contrast them with monetary policy updates. Seek reputable sources. And prepare, not for assured transformation, but for the possibility of seismic shifts in currency value. That is the landscape of today. That is the reality of a world on edge, waiting for signals to become substance.